My beautiful people, Nigerian government right now they confused, and their confusion they lead to the confusion of the people. Imagine the Supreme Court don't talk say make e be say the old naira note na still legal tender for Nigeria. But President Muhammadu Buhari don't talk say the old naira note not be legal tender anymore except 200 naira, and even give deadline for that 200 naira. Now the confusion wey dey ground, barrister Moyosoro Nibanjo, wey be the attorney general and the commissioner for justice for Lagos state, don make am clear to us say President Buhari e dey exempted from the wrath of Supreme Court because na president, but the people, the masses, no dey exempted. Banks no dey exempted. Me and you no dey exempted from the wrath of Supreme Court.
This directive or this speech by Mr. President is quite contrary to the injunctive order granted by the Supreme Court. And I believe Mr. President has enormous powers, no doubt, in the Constitution, but those powers does not include the power to sit on appeal in respect of the decision of the Supreme Court or any court for that matter. So as far as I'm concerned, as a lawyer and as the Attorney General of Lagos State, the interim order of the Supreme Court still stands. Basically because Mr. President, even in all his enormity, cannot overrule any order made by the Supreme Court. So my advice is that, not even my advice, I mean, the position of the law is that the order of the Supreme Court prevails. In view of the fact that Mr. President has constitutional immunity from legal process donated to that office by the Constitution, so really the issue of any contempt against him, any contempt proceedings against him is dead in the water because of that immunity granted him, so to speak. But for any other person who directly or indirectly violates an order of any court, more so the Supreme Court, yes, contempt proceedings can be initiated against them. They would actually be in contempt. So all the banks, for example, who refuse to collect the old 1,500 naira notes, they will actually be in contempt of that court order. Ditto for any organization who refuses to accept those notes as legal tender in exchange for goods or services, they can also be cited for contempt of the court. Yes, the advisory issued by Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, governor of Lagos State, still stands because it's in total accord with the position of the law as we speak this minute. The CBN, in quote, in its own wisdom, has decided to implement this policy at this particular time. Whilst quite a number of people do not quarrel with the policy, but the implementation as it is unfolding before all our eyes is quite faulty. And I think at this point in time, people who are on the verge of starvation, people who cannot continue with their livelihood, people who cannot access their funds, are really not interested in any macro or microeconomic gains. At this point, nobody cares what is the inflation rate or whether it is up or down. If I can't get my money.
So now who we go obey? The president or Supreme Court? Even El-Rufai don't talk say for Kaduna State, make the money still dey valid. Say make anybody wey get the money use am. Make nobody reject that money. Because if they reject am, they go face the consequences. So you see why I talk say the people now don't dey confused. We don't know who to obey, who to listen to, and money never still dey available. Make you watch this video. I bet wanna follow this page. Thank you. And
protect ordinary people from the consequences of these policy fiascos. The sad fact That the victims of these mindless policies are the people that elected us. It is their welfare that is being threatened. We've been officially informed that the currency redesign policy is to reduce money laundering and render useless stashes of high denomination naira that many politicians and public officers have accumulated through corruption and other illicit activities. On behalf of the Kaduna State government, I wish to assure you that none of you would lose the money you have in old notes. Let no artificial or illegal deadline frighten you. Whether you live in towns, villages, or in our isolated rural communities, do not feel stampeded to deposit your old notes into the banks. Hold on to them. Continue to use them as legal tender as ordered by the Supreme Court of Nigeria. No deadline can render them worthless, ever. The law is on your side.